Welcome to the green carpet, and here's your host, Nadia Lake.
Good evening, and welcome to Volunteer MBC's 6th annual The Oscars Green Carpet presentation, sponsored by Maritime Ontario. My name is Nadia Lake, and I will be your host for this evening. Tonight, we have a great lineup of entertainment. We will be hearing from spoken word from Lamoy Simmons, renowned jazz singers and songwriters Ori Dagan, vibrant Bollywood style troupe Dance Shala, and brilliant award-winning choir Clarkson Music Theatre. We will also have surprise visits by our dignitaries such as Mayor Hazel McCallion, my apologies. So let's get started with our evening. We have incredible impact stories waiting to be viewed from some of our 36 award nominations. We have a fun-filled, packed evening waiting for you. So before we get any further, I would like to introduce my colleague, Shaminda Pereira, who's going to be joining us shortly here on the green carpet. We'll be talking about some of the different things that we've experienced this year. Going forward, we'll touch a little bit about COVID. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the nominations that we're going to be viewing tonight. So before we get any further, I'd like to introduce Shaminda Pereira.
Thanks, Nadia. Before I start with anything, 3 cheers to our producer, Mr. Shanabasi, who's behind the scenes, and his team of volunteers and the staff who's supporting him. Nadia, thank you very much for the introduction. And folks, we have a fun-filled evening today. Like Nadia said, my name is Shaminda Pereira. For Volunteer MBC, I'm the Manager of Learning and Resource Development. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us, Shaminda. So before we get any further, I would first like to take this time to send special condolences to everyone that experienced loss during COVID-19 and the pandemic that we are experiencing. And we just want to thank you for taking the time out this evening for joining us for our 6th annual The Oscars. COVID has definitely changed all of us in uniquely different ways. For myself, COVID enabled me to kind of unearth my green thumb potentials, but it's nothing in comparison to some of the COVID-19 stars that we've seen come through the submission process this year. We've heard a lot of amazing stories about these volunteers that have truly gone above and beyond to meet the needs of our community. And these stories are truly touching. So we want to kind of just start there and have a conversation with you, Shaminda, about some of these experiences and the nominations of the COVID-19 stars that we'll be seeing this evening.
Of course, Nadia. I mean, I consider myself to be blessed as being a practitioner in the sector, but also being, part of Volunteer MBC, because the stories that we hear with volunteering in general on a day-to-day basis is amazing. And because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the volunteer support that we have received, those stories have come almost every day. And they're amazing volunteers, amazing individuals who had just took the initiative and just said, I want to help. They started there, and we took it on from there. And the stories, folks, you will hear the stories, throughout the evening today. But I have to tell you, I'm truly blessed to be witnessing all of that taking place in the community.
Okay, so I believe we have a video to share a little bit more about what we've seen from our COVID-19 stars. And the video is by Vera Carmini from MICBA Forum. So I'm going to shoot over to you, Shan, so we can see this video.
Vera Carmini is on her way to make a difference at this. at this senior's residence in Mississauga.
Hi.
Unfortunately, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties in regards to the video. It was featured on Global News about
Nancy,
making
good morning. How are you?
Here at McBuff.
So perhaps we'll get a chance to see that video a little bit later on. Shaminda, how about we talk a little bit about the Mask Marvel project that Volunteer MBC was able to jump on board at the beginning of the pandemic, and we had an outpouring of volunteers that were able to come on board and start sewing these masks for the community. And I thought it was one of the most endearing outpours in the community, because we had so many people come forward in this Mask Marvel production.
Of course, Nadia. I mean, the moment we broke into the physical distancing environment, and at the same time, the community needed support in coping up with the COVID-19. This is the early stages, and we needed masks in the community. So what Volunteer MBC did was, we created this program. It's purely volunteer run. Of course, the staff are coordinating behind the scenes, but it's purely volunteer run, where supporters, people were donating the fabric, donating maybe in kind or in cash into getting the fabric, organized. And from one side in the community, and from the other side, there were volunteers who were sewing these masks. Sewing mass scale, and then handing it back over to Volunteer MBC so that we could distribute to those organizations that really needed the mask support. So, somewhere down the line, we came up with the awesome name called Mask Marvels, and I think it's a fitting name because what the volunteers did at that time, Nadia, I think it's a huge effort in the community.
Absolutely, I truly do agree. Let's see this video that we have for Andrea's story.
Hi there, I'm Andrea Brown and I live in the city of Mississauga. I learned about Volunteer MBC when I just came to Canada, and I've been seeking volunteer opportunities. When COVID-19 started, I had to stay home, and so I developed a hobby in sewing, just to keep from being bored. Then I got an email from Volunteer MBC requesting volunteers in sewing masks. I was so excited, so I grabbed the opportunity. I was home sewing stuff for myself, like quilts. I made this wonderful quilt for a baby nephew, and I made a mask for my family as well. So I grabbed the opportunity that Volunteer MBC has been offering, and I sewed 36 masks for Volunteer MBC. Doing this, I feel so satisfied that I was able to contribute to the fight against COVID-19. But there are so many people out there who don't have access to face coverings. So I just want to say thank you, Volunteer MBC, for this great opportunity, and continue to touch lives.
Thank you, Andrea. This is an amazing video, and I've just actually been informed that Andrea created this video herself. So she's definitely a woman of talents and a volunteer that is definitely cherished.
Yeah, and folks, that's just one of the amazing stories that we were mentioning about, and you'll get to see more of those as the evening progresses.
Awesome. So as we transition away from COVID-19, not so far, let's take it a little bit into our vaccines. And before we do that, we're going to introduce somebody else that's going to join us here on the green carpet. He is an incredible, heart-filled, generous man who is also on our board. I would like to introduce Jim Waiter.
Hey, Jim.
Welcome, Jim.
Hi, Nadia. Hi, Shaminda. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. So we want to talk a little more about the impact of COVID-19, and more specifically in regards to vaccinations. So we know that the vaccinations have been rolling out, and there are a lot of clinics opening in different places, and we've had a huge outpour as well of individuals that have come out to volunteer for a lot of these clinics. How do you guys feel about this? And can you give us some impact or some input rather on the importance of getting our vaccines done?
Yeah, I can go first, Jim, if you don't mind. I think we have to say kudos to the region of Peel for spearheading, across our region. And in partnership with them, we have been able to support the region of Peel's effort into the mass vaccination clinics. And by the way, if any of you you want to volunteer with one of these vaccination clinics, in Volunteer MBC's website, type in volunteermbc.org, look at the main menu called Volunteers and the sub-menu called I Want to Volunteer. You'll find the COVID-19 mass vaccination clinic volunteer role. Once you sign up, you will be supporting the region of Peel in their mass vaccination clinics. And I think the entire community had come together to make sure that we all have a way of coping up. And Jim, what do you think about the region of Peel's effort?
Well, I will share with everyone, I had my second vaccine on Monday morning. So in terms of vaccines being important to us personally, to those that we care and love, to the community at large, to our great country, I would strongly encourage everyone to get a vaccine as soon as possible. Number one. Number two, if you think of the scale of what has had to happen across the entire planet, I can't imagine how we couldn't have done this or how we would not do it without the help of everyone, all hands on deck. And as we know, the role of volunteers in our communities, it's always an all hands on deck approach. The more people united behind this effort, any effort that helps our communities, I think is very worthwhile. So I'm all in for vaccines. I'm all in for an all hands on deck approach. It needs to be. The faster we get our vaccine percentages up, the faster our communities can reopen. And we know the vitality and the return to normal life is not far behind. So full steam ahead.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Jim,
Thank you,
for
Jim.
that. So I think now we're going to shoot back over to Sean, and we're going to see another video. And this video is coming from the region of Peel, I believe. Sean?
I got my vax. So there's a lot of hesitation because of so many different reasons that people have. And then you have also, there are the religious people who are faith-based, I should say. So there's so many different factors that are leading up to people being hesitant and resistant, as we would say. Not even just hesitant, but resistant. Some people deny that there's actually a virus. So there's so much that we have to break through. We are partnering with Belfort Community Health Center, the Region of Peel, the Ministry of Health, Black Health Alliance, Black Health Task Force of Peel Region. So working together as well, beyond just the COVID and the vaccine, we're looking at how we can make sure we get health equity. Talking to a lady yesterday, and she wanted, can I ask a nurse questions? I said, sure, they're here to help you. And they feel so good to know they can ask a question of a nurse or doctor, especially that looks like them. So it's a great relief for many people. But I did get my vaccine. Yes, I weighed the benefits against the risk. That's what I did. I said, okay, yes, I'm hesitant. I know all of the stories that's been around. I know how we feel from in our community about the healthcare situation. We know that there is systemic discrimination and barriers. We know they're there. What are the risks against the benefits? And for me, the benefits were stronger than the risk. That's what we ask people to do. Weigh the risk against the benefits within their families and make that decision. My name is Angela Carter. I got my vax. I'm the Executive Director of Roots Community Services. I dedicate this to my daughters and my grandchildren, and I'm feeling really good about it. I feel that I am able to protect those around me and protect myself.
Thank you. And just a correction, that is Angela of Roots Community Services, one of our members. Thank you so much for sharing that video with us. It's truly impactful to the community and us understanding why it is important to get our vaccines. And amongst all of the things that COVID has affected, it has also had a huge impact on businesses and on the business sector. Jim, can you help us shed some light on the impact that has been felt from the business sector and what we can look forward to in going throughout the rest of the year?
Certainly. So as I said earlier, this has been a worldwide pandemic, which means no one has not been impacted by this. The challenges in the business community have been vast. Every industry, every corner of our communities, our business world has been impacted and continues to be to a large degree. We were talking about the importance of vaccinations as a pathway to more normal living and a more normal business cycle. When I think about organizations that how they reacted, and unlike individuals, businesses went through shock and anger, probably some resistance initially, but then there was acceptance, right? And I think once businesses were able to accept the reality of what was happening to us, with a very, very cloudy crystal ball, even today, right? We're trying to understand the near term, the mid and longer term. But in spite of that, many organizations were resilient. And when I think of, the definition of resilience, the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, many organizations were able to do that and continue to do that, to spring back. When I think of vitality, being strong and active, having stamina, strength, and vigor. So many businesses are at different levels of resilience and vitality, but all businesses have been challenged and distracted. I think for many businesses, looking after their people was their number one priority, as it should be. Keeping their oxygen masks on. Many organizations had to make very difficult decisions early on and find a way to bring, our most important resource back as quickly as possible. And that's our people, that's our talent. So the operations of businesses have started to recover. Brands are starting to recover. There's a lot to be optimistic about. That's for sure.
Absolutely. At this point, we're going to get a quick peek at a video from BVM National Tire Distributors, George McLean. Oh, so we're seeming to have a little bit of technical difficulties. We're not hearing the audio on this video, and that's okay. Let's give it a quick second here. Let's see if we... Nope, not seeming to get a little bit better. So perhaps we can come back to this a little bit later in the evening. I am almost jumping out of my seat, completely eager to see who some of the winners are for this evening and hearing more about the impact stories from our nominees. I did have a little peek at them as the weeks progressed, but I am definitely excited to see the winners, the trophies, the entertainment. I am containing myself. I am trying. So hopefully
That's
we'll get a chance.
that's the benefit of being in the organizing committee, Nadia. And
yes.
Folks, to our earlier topic which we were discussing, about the Business Vitality Award, while Jim, you were very right in saying, how businesses are struggling and they were figuring out ways of bouncing back. But we also have to add at the same time, while all of this is going on, many businesses manage to, come out and help the community as well. And, trying to, while they're receiving the support, trying to give back something to the community as well, so that all of us together can come out of this pandemic.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. So as a part of the Insider Scoops, I got an opportunity to hear a little bit more about some of our nominations that we're going to hear about this evening. So right now I would like to take the time to introduce the Continuum of Care Award. And this is a new award that we started this year. And it came about because we realized that as an organization, we didn't have a particular category for bigger groups. We had addressed a lot of different areas and individuals in ways to recognize volunteers, but we didn't necessarily have an award that spoke more about the environment and how we care for it. And this year we now do, and that is going to be the Continuum of Care Award. So we're definitely excited to introduce this year, and congratulations to the winners when that part is revealed. I'm not going to give it away. And we also, have we're going to go to the Early Leaders in Volunteering Award to speak a little bit about that.
Volunteering has opened my eyes to many places, made me realize that this is something I could do for fun a lot.
I would recommend other people to volunteer because it basically helps the community in a positive aspect. It makes you a better person because you feel happy from inside. You open a whole new door to opportunities, and I think it's amazing.
It gets you out there. It can benefit you in the future. You never know what skills you learn that can help you.
I'm always just putting a smile on my face, making sure everyone around me is also happy, and because you need a good attitude to volunteer, which is really important.
Thank you.
Amazing. Aren't youth amazing, Nadia?
They are. They really, really are. You can always depend on a youth or a young person to rise to the occasion in the most surprising avenues, in the most surprising ways. They're definitely the future.
Yeah, and even during the pandemic time, Nadia, I think we're talking about the adults getting together, sewing the masks and distributing and helping with the meals and delivery, Meals and Wheels delivery services. But also we have to say kudos to the youth who've been working behind the scenes with whatever they are able to contribute with, whether it's environmental related or whether it's just helping organizations with social media posts in whatever way that they have the capacity to contribute. We as Volunteer MBC or local volunteer center, we've seen youth contributing. I mean, we are able to see the applications that are going through. So we have to give a big round of applause to the youth as well. And youth over the years, we've seen those amazing stories from youth, and that is how we thought of introducing the Youth Lead by Example Award.
And it truly is an amazing example, even for the younger ones, the children that are coming up, to see young people that resemble them, that look like them, doing the work in the community. So with that being said, we can also think about the Family Voluntary Award. I cannot wait till my daughters are a little bit older, where I can take them out into the community and have them volunteer and understand what it means to be a part of a community and to give back to the community. Because without that, I think we kind of stray away from what it means to be a part of a community. So the Family Tree Award is definitely unique in order to display what it is to volunteer as a family unit as well. Jim?
I would add, yes, having an opportunity to mentor and role model a member of your family in real time, in real activity, to do community work together sets an incredible example that will be of value to them for life, right? It's, to me, an incredible gift to your family, to your children, and to your community, all kind of rolled up into one. So it's an incredible activity, and we're lucky to be able to recognize some special families tonight. Very excited to see that.
Absolutely. So who are you most excited to see, or what category is just, that has you on the edge of your chair waiting to see who the winners are?
I don't know. I wish I knew as much as you did, Nadia, about all the winners, but
and maybe that's where all my excitement's coming from. I got a chance to read some of the nominations, and these volunteers deserve so much more than we're able to give them. I can only imagine the types of sacrifice they have to make personally in order to consistently volunteer. Some of these volunteers have been volunteering for over 10 years, consistently there, putting in their effort, putting in their energy, and nothing is more golden than that. It really, really is. Shaminda, what category are you most excited to see?
You're putting me on the spot, Nadia.
I sure.
I will be honest with you. I am excited to see all of them. The reason is, very often we try to find ways to do that good deed during our lifetime, a good deed for the day or good deed for the year. And again, I'm going back to what I said earlier. I'm blessed to be part of this sector because we see, like you said, Nadia, and also like you pointed out, Jim, the stories that we hear of how people selflessly contribute to the community. Like, it's amazing. And even if it's a newcomer who's coming in, when they see what we do, they may not be they may not be familiar with the term volunteering, but they've done charity work or serving the community in some way. But the concept, the approach, the initiatives, and the programs and the organizations in the sector, and then organizations like us who build the capacity of the social purpose organizations, we all see the amazing work that individuals contribute with. So all of them should be recognized in a big way. But this awards presentation is for organization to put forward the volunteers who over and over again who's contributed, without even looking back as to what they're doing. So they're truly living up to the concept of, giving to the community so the community can give to them. And I am excited to see all of them. But my target audience that I'm passionate about is youth. So I am looking forward to the Youth Lead Award, but that does not mean to say that I'm giving preference to it over everything else.
Got it. All right. I'll take the pressure off of you. Thank you so much, Jim, our board president, for joining us here on the green carpet. We really appreciate you taking the time out this evening to join us and have these conversations with us. Thank you so much, Jim.
My pleasure. Thank you again for having me. And it's great to be here with everyone. Thank you.
And once again, thank you, Shaminda Pereira, one of our own from Volunteer MBC. It was a pleasure having you join us on the green carpet as well.
Thank you, Nadia, and also from myself as well to our board president, Jim. Thank you very much. And folks, we are just about to break into the main event. Drum rolls, please. And all of you out there, please enjoy the show.
So thank you so much for joining us on our Green Carpet 2021 virtual The Oscars pre-show. We will see you at the show, and please enjoy. Have a good one.
Good evening. Welcome to the 2021 Virtual V Oscars, Peel Region's Volunteer Recognition Awards, presented by Maritime Ontario and brought to you by your local volunteer center, Volunteer MBC. My name is Urs here, and I'm so thrilled to be your host this evening. Tonight is the night. This is the V Oscars, where we celebrate all the volunteers out there that are making Peel Region a better place. And it all happens because you care. Let's start by showing our respect to the lands we are on and its First Peoples.
We would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather, that we know as Peel, and on which Volunteer MBC operates, is part of the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit. For thousands of years, Indigenous peoples inhabited and cared for this land. In particular, we acknowledge the territory of the Anishinaabe, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Ojibwe Chippewa peoples, the land that is home to the Métis, and most recently, the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, who are direct descendants of the Mississaugas of the Credit. We are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land, and by doing so, give our respect to its first inhabitants.
Now I'm going to turn the floor over to one of the largest and most respected community theater groups in the province, Clarkson Music Theatre. Established in 1945, CMT has maintained a rich tradition of music and theater in Mississauga, having produced over 100 award-winning musicals and cabarets. So we ask you to stand, if you wish, for our national anthem. Thank you, Clarkson Music Theatre. Check them out at clarksonmusictheatre.com. And we've got more outstanding entertainment lined up this evening, including spoken word artist Lamoy Simmons, jazz singer-songwriter Ori Dagan, and incredible performers from the premier school for Indian dance, Dance Shala. I hope all of you and your loved ones have been doing all right during the pandemic. We know it's been a challenging year on many fronts, and it's why we feel it's important to provide the 2021 Virtual V Oscars to you as a bright light in the dark. Our theme is Star Power, and aside from the stars we have performing for us, we are recognizing all the star volunteers and change makers that have been helping Peel Region stay strong. We have an amazing mosaic of nominees tonight. If you're joining us on Facebook or on YouTube Live, we want to see your comments, cheering on all these amazing people, and engage with us on social media with the hashtag VOscars2021. We are also still selling Ovation bonus cards. For just $20, not only will you receive a beautiful limited edition of the 2021 Virtual V Oscars thank you card, but every Ovation bonus card holder will also be entered into a draw for a mini getaway to Hockley Valley Resort. It includes an overnight stay, dinner in their fabulous cabin restaurant, and breakfast. It's valued at $500. Wow. Thanks to Scotia Wealth Management for donating this great prize. To get your Ovation bonus card and have a chance at this truly exciting experience, just go to voscars.volunteermbc.org and we'll be holding the draw on Monday. Volunteer MBC is a registered charity, and we thank you so much for your support. And it's been a year unlike no other with the pandemic. We hope you've all been able to get your vaccinations. And if you're looking to help out with one of the vaccine clinics or volunteer in any other way, please visit volunteermbc.org and sign up with your own volunteer profile so that we can help you find the right position for you. That's just one of the many ways people have been helping out during the pandemic. Our next presenter, Shivraj Dheer, is going to tell us more about that.
Hello, everyone. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a great significant impact in all our lives. As a result, there were many unknowns. Community needs and volunteer roles changed rapidly, leading to a lot virtual and essential volunteering, and organizations trying to strategically navigate the situation. Throughout these unprecedented times, we saw many volunteers who dedicated their time and used their skills to help others. This recognition is for the strong volunteers who stepped up during the pandemic to support and help with the needs of their community. We call these unsung heroes our COVID-19 stars, and each will receive a special Star Volunteer Medal for their efforts. Let's meet the COVID-19 stars. Congratulations. Thank you for coming through for your community during this challenging time. With people like you, we know our community will recover and thrive.
Thanks to Alpha Vima Technologies for sponsoring the COVID-19 stars. Congratulations to all the COVID-19 stars. You'll all be receiving your medals from the organizations that selected you soon. Before we get into the awards, we're going to kick things off with something special. Can you imagine what a star sounds like? You're going to find out. Award-winning jazz artist Ori Dagan is an exciting new voice, charming audiences with his unique musical style and entertaining performances. His rich baritone voice and impressive abilities as an improviser produce an instantly recognizable sound. Over the past year, Ori has been winning new fans worldwide with a weekly live stream show broadcasting live from his living room. Please give a warm V Oscars welcome to Ori Dagan.
1, 2, 3, 4. You don't mean a thing, but ain't got that swing. Do-wop, 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 do-wop. You don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is sing. Do-wop, 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 do-wop. Cause it makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. All you gotta do is hit the rhythm. You gotta hit the rhythm, all you got. You gotta hit the rhythm, all you got. You gotta give that rhythm, all you got. With it, diddy, boo, yeah. Shabba-dee, ba-doo-doo-doo, do-do-let-it-do-do-let-it, do-do-let-it, 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 blip, blip, scabba-doo-doo-doo, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba- Yes, it makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. You gotta get the rhythm. All you got don't mean a thing, but ain't got that swing. Do-wop, 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 do-wop. Do-wop, 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 do-wop. Do-wop, 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 do-wop. Congratulations to all the volunteers who give it all they got.
Ori, thank you so much. Be sure to check out Ori on his live stream every Sunday on his Facebook page, and we're watching for his brand new album of original music coming soon. Exciting. Now it is the time to recognize the outstanding volunteers in all 16 award categories. Volunteer MBC had invited its member organizations to nominate one outstanding person in each of the volunteer award categories. Once the nomination period closed, their responses were given to our awesome judging committee to evaluate every nomination that we received. Our judges are amazing leaders of volunteers from across Peel region. And this year, one of our judges was even nominated for an award. That's okay though. The judges recuse themselves from any categories they're connected to. So let's meet the judges. Thank you very much. That's hard work reviewing all these incredible nominees and scoring them. Just a reminder, if you haven't done so yet, buy an Ovation bonus card for a chance to win a mini getaway to Hockley Valley Resort, valued at $500. Just visit voscars.volunteermbc.org. Each nominee tonight will be receiving medals sponsored by Nadine Melrose, one of our dedicated team members here at Volunteer MBC. Thanks, Nadine. Now, to our first set of awards, the Helping Hands Awards. There is one Helping Hands Award for each municipality, Volunteer MBC. That's Mississauga, Brampton, and Caledon.
Good evening. My name is Didi Vogler, and I am the president of the Rotary Club of Brampton. And I am very proud to sponsor the Helping Hands Award for Brampton. Our diverse and ever-growing community is significantly impacted by the many volunteers who give a lot of their time and dedication. Here, we recognize them for their commitment and passion for community service. The nominees for the Helping Hands Award for Brampton are and the V Oscar goes to David Hardy. Congratulations, David.
In choosing an organization to volunteer with, I found that my heart leaned toward the homeless and the marginalized in our community. When I was invited by a friend to help at Regeneration, it seemed to be a good fit for my passion and my timetable, so I began helping with the meal program in 2018. There are two things I appreciate most about the volunteer experience. First of all, getting to interact with our guests at Regen while serving meals, and occasionally sitting down and chatting with someone about life. I missed this aspect of serving during the past year of the pandemic when we could not have our guests stay inside to eat. Secondly, the camaraderie that develops among the volunteers that you work with on a regular basis is quite special, and they become your friends as well as your fellow workers. In closing, I personally see volunteering as a lifestyle, and I hope to continue helping at Regeneration for the foreseeable future. However, if that should change